welcome to the lesson 1. Okay, so we're going through the journey of financial literacy. Okay, and this is going to be the lesson 1 out of many modules that we're going to go in the near future. Okay, and we're going to look at the different financial flows. Now, let's talk about the 3 types of financial flows. Okay, there are 3 types that we can name. Okay, the first one is financial flow of the poor. We've got financial flow of the middle class. Although this one is actually disappearing right now, the middle class is disappearing because the middle class are becoming the poor category. Now we have the financial flow of the poor or the rich or the wealthy. You know, it's very sad, but this is going. So it is very important and necessary to know which financial flow that you fall in, so you cannot either you want to change it, especially if you are in the financial flow of the poor or the middle class, to try to plan and go to the financial flow of the wealthier. Okay. Now let's have a look closely at what financial flow of the poor look like. Okay. Now this is where most of people, if you're on this financial flow, or you spend as much as you earn. Have you noticed, or you maybe it's one of you who's watching this video, you are in this category. So you earn as much money, and then you feel you spend the same amount of money or more, and then you end up having more money left than money left. Have you experienced this situation? I used to experience this situation in the past. Okay, so now this is how the financial flow of the poor can work. You've got the revenue or the income coming in, and then at the same month, you get more expenses, more expenditure, or more expenses out at the same time. Some of the people have more expenses than income coming in. All right, so this is, say for example, a person earned $200 and they spend $200. They earn $1,000, they spend. Or sometimes some unlucky people who didn't really take this financial literacy very seriously, they earn $10,000 and they spend $15,000. So, which is very bad. It's okay? So, and there's nothing set apart to invest. Nothing saved. Right, okay, let's have a look now closely. Now, people living in this financial flow of the poor principle always say that they are short of money. They always have more money left than money left. Okay. Now, the more people earn, the more people spend, and as soon as people get no revenue, the problem with this, as soon as the people get no revenue, especially in this situation that we're in right now with this COVID-19, where people are stranded and they can't work anymore, they will have. They will be out on the street, they will have the key of the street, or they will have no job. And this is a very bad time for these people who are stranded. So do you need to take this time to actually reflect and try to move your financial flow and change your financial flow. Okay? Now, do you know anybody? Yeah, and I bet if you are watching this video, some of you know somebody, or you are one of those persons who live in this financial flow. Alright? Now let's have a look at the financial flow of the middle class. Okay? The financial flow of the middle class is this flow will turn into the following way. This is what you have. So the middle class, they think they are made it. So this is the financial flow I was in when I was still in my job, where I was getting over 50k a year, and then I thought I have made it, right? I had thought I have made it. This is where most of people fall into, but they get fooled. You have a revenue, you've got some expenditure, asset category is 0, but liabilities is a lot. You buy a house, you get a mortgage, you got a car, and you build a shed, all that. It is expenses, but there is no asset that actually creating another separate income when you're not working. Now the problem with this is that if you started to do that again, like the poor the financial floor of the poor, when you lose your job, things start to go very bad. So people buying car, flats, etc. on a credit, and this is where people like to buy a lot of things on a credit card, right? The middle class think that they buy assets when actually buying liabilities. When you buy a home to live in, it is a liability because you're spending money from your pocket, money getting out of your pocket every single month. Okay. Now, if you should not lose work, or like it's happening 2008, now it's happening in 2020, with this situation that we're in, many people lose their job, lose the means of living, and it's very sad. So you start, then they turn into the financial floor of the poor. Okay, so like most of the America, like you've seen that if you read Robert Kiyosaki books, he talk about rat race, mouse trap, or rat race trap. Okay, you want to avoid this. Okay, and let's have a look. Continue to have a look at the financial floor of the middle class. Now, some statistics were done in 2010 that the 70% of the people in the world buy things on a credit card, on a credit. They don't buy it outright, and they get stuck in the rat race. Now, tell me, do you know anybody who does not live in this financial floor? Very, very few, because we have taken that as a norm, and everybody, most of the people live. So you've got a lot of shops that give you for free. You can pay in 6 months, you can just take it, you pay another year, you won't pay in another year. So we are into this kind of lifestyle where people just live on a credit. Alright, let's have a look at the financial floor of the wealthy, of the rich. This is where you need to be. This is where you need to aspire to be, right? So I don't know if you know whether this way is open to you, or you think it's not open to you. Well, I am glad to say to you that this financial floor is actually open to you. Okay? And to everybody who aspires to live on the principle of the wealthy. If you are open, I will show you during this series of training, this series of studying, I will show you how you can actually move to this financial floor of the wealthy. Okay, you can start to learn more and how you can adapt this one. If that sounds exciting, great. Continue and make sure you do not miss any course. All right, this is how it goes. Financial floor of the wealthy. You've got this like table. You've got this like a financial statement. You've got the revenue. You've got the expenses, like anybody's. But this time you have a new category of assets. You can see you have a lot. You have bonds, you have the bank deposit, you have shares, you have stock in shares, you have real estate, you have some apartment you're renting out, you have financial portfolios, you have some futures, different assets you have. Okay, now in the future we will teach you how different assets you can tap into. More than 20 different instruments you can tap into actually, so that you can start to acquire assets in this category. Okay, and then you can see that the liabilities are there, because you need a house to live in, you need a car, you need a bath. These liabilities are paid off by all these assets that you have. So if this person, whether there is a crisis or not, they lose a job and have these assets that keep paying them, they don't panic and they stay. That's why the people say the richer keep getting richer, because when this situation happens in the crisis, the richer will have more money to invest even more, to buy down when the stock market is down, or to buy assets at the cheap. And this is where you need to be. All right. Now, the more asset, the more revenue, then more assets you can buy more, and the cycle keep going. That's why, people say that the poor keep getting poor, because if you lose everything, you can't even afford to eat. The first thing the last thing you need to think about is investing. All right, and the middle class always fight with credit, and then they go back to the poor, and the rich keep getting richer and richer. Okay, financial floor of the wealthy again continues. So wealth is not the availability of some of these things, or money, or relation, or no relation. It's not. It's the same thing like the property. It is not the absence of money, or things, or relation. The difference is that is the way of thinking. First, you place wealth in your mind, so you have to be financially educated in your mind. Have you seen the situation where people win the lottery, but within a few years they all finish their money because they didn't have financial literacy? Okay, and then once you have in your mind, once you are educated, and then it will flow into your pockets because you can then start to apply the knowledge. Okay. Also, the difference is that the wealthy engage in self-education, like I just said, and the poor gain a diploma, or they just watch TV, watch the mainstream media instead of educating themselves. Okay. Also, that the poor work for money, and this is key. This is key. The poor tend to work for money, but the wealthier work for assets. They work to acquire assets. So any small money, any saving in future, will be showing you strategy you can start to apply to actually start to move into this category. Okay? And the frame of mind is the frame of mind. Okay? So now you might be asking yourself probably, so what needs to be done to turn to the way of financial independence or financial freedom? Now this is what I'm going to teach you in the lesson 2. We are going to look into what you need to do to make sure that you do not miss these lessons. Okay, make sure you follow. I'll try to put the lessons so it's easier for you to just follow bit by bit. Okay, bye, and then I'm looking forward to see you in the next lesson. Bye for now.